My brother and I obtained 2 systems. One was a 1000X shrink system, to show off with magic tricks in front of his crush. My brother rushed to pick the 1000X shrink system. I had to take the remaining one, but I didn't expect that 3 days later, a torrential rain apocalypse would strike. Everyone was trapped in high-rise buildings. Home resources became the key to survival, relying on the 1000X Enlarge System. A single enlarged biscuit could last for months. By living frugally, I barely managed to survive the apocalypse. When I opened my eyes again, I was back at the moment of choosing the system. My simp brother rushed to pick the 1000X Enlarge System. I knew he had been reborn too. Seeing this, I smiled. Please choose your systems. I choose the 1000X Enlarge System. My brother spoke up impatiently. Binding successful. Enlarge anything by 1000 times. Cannot be used repeatedly on the same item. Duration, 87,600 hours. Hee. Brother, you're not going to fight me for it, right? Looking at his smug face, I remained silent. Brother, I love you the most. Then I'll choose the 1000X shrink system. He seemed relieved, thinking I hadn't been reborn. System binding successful. I looked at him coldly, with no more warmth in my heart. If you want to be the savior, do it yourself this time. The apple on the table suddenly grew huge, crushing the coffee table. My brother jumped up in excitement. It's real! The enlarged system is mine! He turned around and looked at me smugly. Brother, your shrink system seems useless. It is pretty useless. Only good for magic tricks. I reached out and touched the broken table, and it vanished instantly. Ha ha ha. Cleaning up is easy, brother. Your shrink system is truly pathetic. He reached out his hand for money. Brother, give me money. I want to go out. As soon as he left, I locked the door. Only 3 days left until the apocalypse. Time is tight. First step. Took out online loans to get 500,000. Before leaving, I found my brother's ID card and put it in the microwave to demagnetize it. I returned at dusk after buying supplies, hiding them in the pried open living room ventilation duct to prepare for the apocalypse. I also ordered custom tempered glass, using the space in the ventilation duct to build a miniature survival base. I installed a small wind generator and full spectrum LED strips. After finishing all this, I began frantically shopping online for survival supplies. At night, there was noise from across the hall. It was my brother and our neighbor, Sister Xiao Xiao. You're really giving this house to me? Of course, I paid in full. This house is yours. Thanks. It's really inconvenient for me to squeeze in downstairs with my parents. It's not a matter of convenience. You'll thank me even more later. My heart sank. He also knows the lower floors will be flooded. But where did he get the money? I already demagnetized his ID card. Oh no, my property deed. Thank you, Chen Yuan. You're so good to me. No, I'm willing to do anything for you. My brother, Chen Yuan, grinning foolishly, saw me as he entered. His eyes looked panicked. I got straight to the point, questioning him coldly. Where is my property deed? I took the deed to use as collateral. Where is the mortgage money? I used it to buy a house for Sister Xiao Xiao. This is the house your brother worked hard to save for. The down payment came from selling the old house. I should have a share too, okay? Why should it all be yours? You've really grown up, haven't you? I already grew up, and I've graduated college. I'm much smarter than you. He turned and went back to his room, slamming the door shut. As stepbrothers with no biological relation, if I hadn't promised my dying stepmother, why would I have suffered this burden for 10 years in my last life? Fine. Let's see who lives more comfortably in this apocalypse. I went back to my room to continue ordering supplies. The next day, before leaving, I left 5,000 on the sofa, just wanting him to stay out of my sight at home. On my way down, I ran into Xiao Xiao's family. People who buy high floors are idiots. Once they're old and can't walk, they'll suffer enough. They'll just end up wanting to add an elevator. Unless you give us 1 million in compensation. Don't even think about it, you little brat. 1 million isn't enough. It has to be 10 million. His mother slapped him. I couldn't help but sneer. Today I went out to dig soil, bought seeds, surveillance cameras, and hardware tools. When I returned, my brother was indeed gone. I took the opportunity to install the cameras. Then I used my ability to shrink several sacks of seeds and put them into my miniature base. The second time I went out, I brought back a large batch of chickens, ducks, and pigs shrunk 1,000 times. Ding, the doorbell rang. My brother was back, accompanied by the influencer Lin Xiao Xiao. This is your brother, Chen Yuan. That's right, brother. This is Sister Xiao Xiao. I heard she was once the beauty of our village. I know her, Chen Yuan. I want to go back and rest. After saying that, Lin Xiao Xiao turned and went back to the opposite apartment. My brother looked at me eagerly. Give me some more money. I'm your most beloved brother, after all. Don't come back unless it's important. I transferred 5,000 to him. Thanks. Consider this money in advance payment for the service fee of enlarging supplies later. Chen Yuan plopped down on the sofa, took an apple from the coffee table and took a bite. Then he noticed a bag of seeds I had left there. Wait, brother, why are you stockpiling this? The sky has been gloomy lately, and we mysteriously obtained systems. Your brother here is worried something might happen, so I'm stockpiling some seeds just in case. Haha, brother. You're so stupid. With my enlargement system, what's the use of this stuff? He disdainfully threw the seeds into the trash can. Now he's even more convinced that I wasn't reborn. After all, in a rainy apocalypse, where would there be sunlight to grow vegetables? I rolled my eyes and went back to my room. When I woke up, the rain had intensified. When I went out, my brother Chen Yuan was moving things for Lin Xiaoxiao next door. What a simp. There's no use for so many cheap things. Trust me, Chen Yuan was anxious, but didn't want to reveal the truth, probably wanting her to look at him differently when the apocalypse arrives. Brother, let me move the things inside first. Suit yourself. Brother, where are you going? It's raining outside. To the office. But he glanced at Lin Xiaoxiao beside him and swallowed his words. I knew I wouldn't get a Don't go. I pulled up my collar and walked away quickly. The lobby downstairs at the company was already piled with the things I ordered. Mate, why did you buy so much stuff? You didn't win the lottery and go on a revenge shopping spree, did you? There's too much stuff. I can't move it all. Why don't you call a few colleagues to help? I shook my head. No need. Where is my most expensive item? I paid 5,000 for shipping insurance. Nothing happened to it, right? Nothing. The delivery guy took the item out. I opened the package. Inside was a miniature villa. This thing cost me 200,000. These are all toys for the rich. Mate, if you have money, why not buy a car? I don't want to park in the green belt. I handed him a cigarette. After confirming it was correct, I put the things together and reached out to activate my ability. By the time the delivery guy turned back after lighting his cigarette, the mountain of things in front of him was gone. Holy crap. What the hell? He rubbed his eyes, looking completely bewildered. No way, mate. You saw it just now, right? The things are gone. I didn't see anything. I stuffed the shrunk items into a black bag, holding only the package for the miniature villa. I only received this one package. The delivery guy plopped down on the ground. Just kidding, I saw it. It just vanished in an instant. I was wondering, could it be ghosts? My company is indeed full of resentment. The real estate business has been tough these last few years. The employees are under immense pressure. I patted him on the shoulder and turned to go upstairs. Today is my last day of work. Sitting at my workstation, I immediately started downloading various movies, wanting to fill up hundreds of terabytes of memory. The table is covered in takeout. I'm leisurely slacking off. Sister Zhang next to me leans over. Xiao Chen, haven't seen you for a weekend. Did you win the lottery? Maybe. The good times didn't last long. The late manager Wang arrives. What are you looking at? Did you sell any houses today? Get back to work and behave. As he walked past me, he saw me blatantly slacking off. He was absolutely livid. Chen Yuan, you freaking don't respect me at all, do you? Shut up. I slapped him across the face, sending him spinning around. He held his face stunned. Relax. It's normal to feel a bit dizzy. I sat back down with a smirk. You dare hit me? You dare hit me? So what if I did? Do you still want this job? I asked back. Manager Wang felt his brain freeze. Didn't you say? Seems like that's my line. Now it's my turn to talk. Seeing how confident I was, he was momentarily unsure. Stop making a scene. I'll keep the office incident that night a secret. I put my finger to my lips. As soon as I said that, Manager Wang's face turned from red to green. Don't talk nonsense. About you hitting me today. We'll settle that later. Manager Wang left. Sister Zhang leaned in again to ask, who was Manager Wang in the office with? What happened? How should I know? I shrugged my shoulders. The next part is the real deal. The apocalypse will be long. I can't survive without spiritual food. The company's internet is still the fastest. I unplugged the hard drive and stuffed it into my briefcase. Finished writing. A fragrant scent wafted over. It was the boss, Sister Xiao. Boss, anyone would think you're the boss. I let you treat the company like home, not to act like you own the place. I ignored her teasing, turned around and wrote my address and contact info on a sticky note, stood up and slapped it on her chest. What are you doing? This is my home address, along with my contact info and a simple map. If you can't survive, remember to find me. I fancy you 17 Huanhai Road. I fancy you. I walked away coolly. Xiao Chen. A suppressed growl came from behind. I stopped in my tracks, took off my badge and threw it in the trash, turned back and pointed to myself. Stop calling me Xiao Chen all the time. From now on, call me Brother Chen. I gave a thumbs up, turned and left. If I don't leave now, security will come. The delivery guy downstairs saw me, quickly bowed in apology. I'm sorry, I lost your package. It's all my fault. I'll find a way to compensate you. Please give me some more time. The way he was nervous reminded me of myself when I first started working. I stopped walking, reassured him that nothing was lost. I've received the goods. It's really not lost. I just know magic. Really? I curled my lips into a smile, like giving a piece of advice to my past self. The rain is getting heavier. Time to go home. Hoard more daily necessities. This rain might never stop. After saying that, I opened my umbrella and stepped into the rain. Today's task is to raid the supermarket. Most of the 10 years of supplies I ordered online have arrived. When the system's expiration date arrives, it's the apocalypse. The day the rain stops. I'm starting to get excited. Today it's time for food. In the city's largest supermarket, wherever I passed, everything was shrunk and thrown into the briefcase. I had no intention of paying. When I left, the alarms went off like crazy, but security found nothing. Standing outside the mall, I wondered how to spend the remaining 100,000 yuan. Until I saw the one hanging in the souvenir shop. How much for this compound bow? This is a work of art. It is a milestone in the human competitive arena. The boss gave me an impatient look. Will you sell it for 100,000? After the deal was closed, I ordered a cup of milk tea. I got off at the gas station outside the neighborhood. I sent my brother a screenshot of a flight ticket. Little brother, the company suddenly sent me on a business trip. I'll transfer 500 to you. Order takeout for yourself tonight. Only 500? You're too stingy, bro. Alright, I got it. I'm watching Sister Xiaoxiao's livestream. It's absolutely amazing. I randomly sent a message about my bank card. There's still 50,000 in the card. It's right under the pillow in my room. Don't touch anything else. Got it, bro. Sure enough, he immediately took a taxi to the ATM. I walked into the gas station. I told the yawning lady, "Fill it up." "Kid, where's your car?" "No car?" "Do you need a bucket for the gas?" "Rental is 25. I handed over the empty milk tea cup. "Just this cup. $5 worth of gas." "Ha ha ha, $5. $5, ha ha, you've lost it, kid." She laughed so hard she couldn't stand up. On the way home, a Ferrari stopped. Crossing the line, the blonde guy in the car rolled down the window. I walked over and spat on his cigarette. "You damn blondie, get out of the car! Blondie, get out!" I didn't even wait for him to stand steady. After arriving home, I began the final layout. I took out the miniature villa model and placed it in the living room. I pushed all the shrunk supplies, food, furniture, and packages inside. After doing all this, I looked at the home I had lived in for 10 years, with only regrets remaining. I sealed the entrance of the model, leaving only a small hole and a hanging string. Done! I gazed at the curtain of rain outside. "See you in 10 years. I placed the model into the survival base. I grabbed the end of the string and ordered the system. "Shrink me 1,000 times. The whole world expanded before my eyes. I hung in midair, holding the string. The sound of the door opening came from outside. It was my brother returning. I quickly activated the hoist and was rapidly pulled into the model. Before entering, I caught a glimpse of my brother coming in. He didn't notice the tiny me at all. "Chen Yuan, you bastard! You tricked me into running all that way. Are you even human?" My brother, Chen Yuan, kicked the sofa in rage. "Why do I feel like something is missing?" The mountains of supplies in the house had completely vanished. Just then, the text I sent him arrived. "You scoundrel!" Chen Yuan smashed things in a fury. "This bastard is playing me. He clearly regrets too. No wonder. Is he even human? To deceive his own brother like this. Fine. Let's see what's in that useless shrinking system of yours. When you come back begging, we'll see if I even acknowledge you." I chuckled behind the small hole above his head. I turned off the hoist, blocked the entrance with a piece of iron, and flipped the switch. The LED strips lit up. The shrunk Ferrari was parked right by my feet. Step on the gas. This is much more powerful than a model car. I moved the appliances into the mansion, connected them to the engine's power, and then soaked in the bathtub, eating the food I inherited from my brother. Watching the news on TV about this eerie rain, I received a text message. It was from Xiao Wanqing. "What on earth do you know? Experienced the apocalypse. Pretty baby. Her beauty is the most lethal poison in the apocalypse. Considering the salary was paid on time, this will be my final warning." Wearing a bath towel, I walked into the living room, turned on the surveillance feed, ready to enjoy the apocalypse as a side dish to my meal. On the screen, my brother Chen Yuan went from frustration to manic laughter. "I also have a 1000X enlargement system. Brother, sooner or later, there won't be a bone of you left. When that time comes, I won't even look at you if you beg on your knees. Betray me and die in agony in the apocalypse." He grinned maliciously. He turned around and pulled Sister Xiao from next door inside. "What heavy rain? Apocalypse? And a 1000X enlargement system? Xiao Yuan, I think you're seriously ill." When she saw the apple weighing hundreds of pounds in the living room, she was speechless. Chen Yuan said, showing it off like a treasure. "I've also enlarged a great 1,000 times. The floor tiles are all cracked. Impressive. Lucky to have you. With me here, Sister Xiao doesn't have to worry about supplies. If it keeps raining, the lower floors will be flooded, right? Don't worry. it won't reach our floor. My parents and your future brother-in-law are still downstairs. Brother-in-law. I bet Chen Yuan is dreaming of his harem again. Hey Yuan, what are you thinking? Nothing. Hurry up and bring the brothers-in-law up. Settle them in your new place. Oh, right. Before doing that, let's first collect the long-term storage supplies in the building. Then we magnify them 1,000 times and sell them. We'll become millionaires. Hey Yuan, your smart brain really works. As expected of a college student. Truly impressive. Chen Yuan was completely lost in a foolish, smitten grin. By the way, where's your brother Chen Lan? Don't mention that bastard. He left me behind and ran off first. Just let him die in the apocalypse. Without my magnification system, he is nothing. Our Yuan is really amazing. Munching on a watermelon. I couldn't help but give this streamer a like. My stupid little brother is completely finished. Continuous torrential rains submerged the world. The building became an isolated island. At first, Chen Yuan stood at the top thanks to his ability. He played the savior for 3 months. Then he was knocked down by Sister Xu Xiao's brother, that brother-in-law, and became a tool for magnifying food. He didn't dare to resist, because in this building, an uncontrolled ability would only bury us all together. He feared death but didn't understand the rules of the apocalypse. Only those with the strongest fists have a say. After being hung upside down, he cried and screamed every day. I shook my head helplessly. To deal with the crisis, building a protective net was the priority. I split my time in half for building the net, half for exercising. At night, I used the computer to study weapon forging data, especially guns. Another 3 months passed. The iron net was initially established. I also built a few greenhouses, planting grains and vegetables. When I had free time, I checked the surveillance. The situation in the building had already reversed. Long rains and despair tore the rules apart. Those dissatisfied with the exploitation started a rebellion. Xiao Xiao's parents died tragically. He became a slave. As for Chen Yuan, he was still that pathetic, upside-down human power source. The rioters figured out his system. They left him only one movable finger. Touching food would allow him to activate the system, magnifying things 1,000 times. I watched it all with cold eyes. Just as I expected. Once someone with special abilities is exposed and controlled, they become the most miserable existence. My brother Chen Yuan's eyes had gone numb. That clear stupidity was no longer visible. Unfortunately, it was too late. Because of Chen Yuan's existence, this building had a constant supply of food, thus falling into a brief paradise period. A new order was quickly established. The leader of the uprising became the king. The ecological niche of the building became a pyramid structure, and Chen Yuan was outside the ladder, a Dalit, without any dignity. I was just a bystander, enjoying life in my own villa, until a swarm of ants crawled in through the vent. To defend my home, I fought the ant army to the death. This battle lasted over a month. The ant army was nearly wiped out. I also suffered heavy losses. For the next 6 months, I spent my time reinforcing the vent's defenses. More than a year later, while I was watching the surveillance, Chen Yuan's eyes were lifeless, stupefied like a piece of wood. Seeing him suffer every day as if it were a year gave me peace of mind. As long as Chen Yuan is alive, they won't worry about food. Chen Yuan has become an emotionless beast of burden. Things had long since spiraled out of my control. I could only be a bystander, living in my own microscopic world. Everything was fine, until that elder centipede broke through the defense line. But facing this elder centipede, which was like a flexible train, none of my weapons could hurt it. I risked it all and charged in my Ferrari, finally gaining a chance to touch it. Shrink for me. After the terrifying elder centipede shrank, I lifted my foot and stomped on it, easily crushing it to death. Alone in the building for 2 years, I survived by reinforcing defenses and eliminating intruders, and staying alive, until I received a private message saying she was coming for me. It was President Xiao. Come, I replied. But downstairs, everything had changed. A new leader, a fanatic cultist, had actually enshrined my upside-down brother, Chen Yuan, as a god. He used Chen Yuan's power to create panic, and used divine authority to control people's hearts. This god remained hanging upside down in the temple. And what am I, living above the temple? I felt a terror born of total isolation. Lonely, I was like a god, spying on the floors below through monitors, yet unable to change anything. Life was supposed to be this way, until a group of wanderers arrived by submarine. Among them was a long-haired beggar, smelling foul, acting manic and crazed. My phone buzzed again. Brother Cheng, I'm here. The peace was shattered. I craved connection. I had to save her. I built a small plane from scrap, but it crashed as I approached. Long periods of solitary thought meant I was rarely affected by fear. I caught a fly, and began a simple process of taming it, but I felt it wouldn't make it. Outsiders were not allowed to stay long, until a guard discovered that this smelly beggar was actually a beautiful woman. Grab her for me! The moment the crowd pounced, I activated the system, and brought her back to my Eden. I placed her on the sofa. She curled up. Only soft murmurs could be heard. I immediately brought some food. She ate like she had been starving for lifetimes, stuffing food into her mouth frantically. Slow down, I have plenty of food. I stroked her tangled hair and accidentally removed her disguise, revealing her fair skin. What on earth happened? Can you wait until I'm finished eating? She only stopped when she couldn't eat another bite. I urged her to take a shower, but the spark in her eyes was gone. Come sit. She sat uneasily as far from me as possible. Since you're already here, make yourself at home. You must have suffered a lot on your journey. I pulled her close to me. These words seemed to strike a chord deep within her. Tears began to fall uncontrollably. She leaned on my shoulder and cried until she was exhausted. Then she finally spoke. Actually, I stayed in the company building for over 2 years, alone. Are you surprised? A bit. That day, I was watching the lobby monitors. Everyone at the company had already left. When I realized something was wrong from the messages, I dismissed the security guards and locked the doors to the upper floors, relying on the supplies in the building. I survived for 2 years. Then why didn't you contact me? No power. At first, I didn't want to contact you. I only contacted my family. They were very worried and were waiting for rescue. Later, the power went out. I couldn't contact the outside world, so I suffered in the darkness for over 2 years. Then I heard a fleet was arriving. What kind of ship? A submarine. And then you were kidnapped and abused? Could you think a bit more positively? She poked my forehead and pushed me away in anger. The apocalypse. It's hard for me to imagine what kind of normal experience a beautiful woman could have. That was my father's ship. My father was very rich. He gave me that company just to play with. Later, I lost all contact. So he built this ship to find me, waiting to take me back. But originally, the Shao Group, that building which still maintained a civilized system, had long since fallen due to rebellion, with nowhere to settle. My father became the captain and began wandering with me and the few remaining crew, fearing my beauty would cause trouble. He made me look like this. Didn't the other crew members know? They're all dead. Your father did it? Yeah, my father pretended to be a kind captain, taking in survivors along the way. Perhaps he was repenting for the sins he committed. The reorganized fleet continued to wander. So, do we need to save your father? My father isn't on board. He was murdered during a trade dispute. The newly elected captain didn't kick me out, because my father once said that I am the ship's lucky charm. I was stunned for a moment. Does anyone actually believe that? She smiled. Actually, it's because the ship's self-destruct device is in my hands. He pulls out an old device. My phone has a self-destruct program. It can also temporarily disable the ship's OS. Over time, the captain has been replaced several times. I've always been the safest amulet on the ship. You've suffered. I hugged her to comfort her. It's alright. My dad asked if there was anywhere I wanted to go. I said I wanted to find you. Perhaps only by finding you could I find a true safe haven. It turns out finding me became her goal to survive. Tears streamed down my face again. Fortunately, I'm here. I became her hope for survival. Even her spiritual pillar. Xiao Chen. Change how you call me. Brother Chen. Still needs to change. What do you want me to call you? Wrapping her arms around my neck, Sister Xiao asked seriously. Call me baby? That's too embarrassing. Then call me husband. In your dreams? While playing around, I grabbed her hand. Our eyes met. Be my woman. Live here with me. I will protect you. I will guard the rest of your life. Then I carried her to the bedroom. I pulled her into my arms. Do you love me? I don't know what love is. I didn't know before, and I still don't now. I answered honestly. You don't like me? I do, then why? I hesitated for a moment before saying, I always feel there's a difference between liking and loving, although I don't know what that difference is. You will know. Sister Xiao curled up in my arms. This place is like heaven right now. Xiao Bao, you are mine. Why are you claiming ownership? It's nothing. Just remembered fantasizing about marrying a female seal, reaching the peak of life. Didn't expect it to happen this way. The tenderness was interrupted by a vibration. What happened? Probably another rebellion. Rebellion. I took Sister Xiao to the sofa. Sure enough, a rebellion broke out on the monitor. The Pope's faction and the Deities faction are fighting in the temple. The Pope's faction is the strongest, yet they hesitate to strike the upside-down deity. This instead became an opportunity for the Deities faction to counterattack. Some people rushed forward, cut the ropes binding the deity. I am free. Chen Yuan's pale face showed none of his former innocence. A satisfied smile full of greed. The freed deity brought fear. The fighting stopped unconsciously. Chen Yuan stood up. Support me. Eyes like an abyss intimidated these god slayers. Do it. What kind of god is he? Kill him for me. The Pope who arrived later was exasperated, but the blade was raised. This time it was aimed at the Pope. A satisfied smile appeared on Chen Yuan's face again. He looked up and murmured to himself, Brother, I am free. I will find you. And then kill you again. I stared at the monitor for a long time in silence. Sister Xiao, leaning in my arms, asked curiously, Old Chen, who is this crazy god's brother? I slowly lowered my head. Your husband, me? She quickly realized. I understand. Your abilities are exactly opposite, right? Resources here are exceptionally abundant. When I came, I always thought it was your doing. Only after arriving did I realize it wasn't. The deity is imprisoned, while you are free. My ability is to shrink objects 1,000 times. He is exactly the opposite of me. The similarity is, neither can change an object once the ability has been used. Understood. What does he mean by kill you again? Sister Xiao looked at me again. I lowered my head. The corner of my mouth curled slightly. Satisfy me, and I'll tell you. No way. Chen Yuan searched the whole building, found nothing. He punished his believers harshly. I don't believe it. He must be here. Even if I have to tear down the building, I will find him. Yuan God, here is your holy sword. Holy my ass. This is a phone. A phone. Looking at the message sent by my brother, Chen Yuan, I chuckled for a while. My dear Oniai-san, where on earth are you hiding? I decided to mislead him a bit, so I dragged Sister Hua along, using a blue and white toothbrush film to fake a clumsy distant landscape on the wall. I took a photo pretending to hold him, let AI process it to look more natural, then I sent it. My dear Ototo, Big Brother is on a sunny beach. The fill light above my head really looks like the sun. Sunny beach. Bikini, little brother. Are you jealous? In the surveillance, Chen Yuan's veins popped. You are human. I am a god. This reply almost made him faint. He calmed down, carefully examining the picture. He didn't seem to find any flaws, but then he seemed to discover something. Could you be on the highest peak of some mountain? Stop bullshitting, Chenlan. I know you're right here. I swear I will find you, and then kill you. I was amused. My eyes flickered. Ready to send? I send it again. You think you have the upper hand? No. I can make your freedom look utterly ridiculous at any time. Chen Yuan was startled, spinning around trying to find the camera where I'm hiding. Naturally, he found nothing. Only then did he realize he'd been played again. I sent another message. This is a very valuable threat. Chen Yuan immediately assumed I wanted to target his food. He immediately ordered increased security. He fell for it again. I had no intention of touching his food. Just wearing him down is enough. Turning off the phone, I dragged Sister Xiao to pick strawberries in the strawberry garden. Old Shin, how many years do strawberries need to grow before they fruit? After 2 years. Production peaks from year 3. Years 4 and 5 are the peak. Sister Xiao is very energetic. I've never felt that planting and harvesting could make someone so happy, because you used to be so arrogant, looking down on everyone. Do you want to die? Her arrival changed my life. I want to protect all of this. In the surveillance, Chen Yuan woke up from a nightmare. He shouted loudly for his followers. Guards rushed in. Save me. My brother wants to harm me. He wants to harm me. He wants to shrink me. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Panting heavily, his forehead covered in sweat. The guards were skeptical of the brother, he mentioned, even feeling a bit of fear. To consolidate power, Chen Yuan began spreading his dogma. The world was baptized by the supreme god. He is the god of the abyss walking among men, and the demon who came to destroy it all is me. When I saw this through the surveillance, I couldn't help but laugh. Only 3 years into the apocalypse, 3 years of suffering, and these people believed it. Or rather, they had to believe it. Constantly worrying about my schemes, Chen Yuan hasn't had a good night's sleep for a single day. Just then, a subordinate reported, Lord Yuan God, water bandits are attacking from outside. These people thought a riot had just broken out here, and that it was the best opportunity to attack. Chen Yuan went to the rooftop with an umbrella, calmly glancing at that rabble. Help me tear down a few bricks. Lord Yuan God, we can't tear them down. I'm the one in charge. Go and get me those bricks. Chen Yuan strolled to the edge of the building. Reach out and say goodnight to the world. He let go. That brick was magnified 1,000 times. It crashed down terrifyingly. The power of a single brick completely solidified his godhood. The god also gave them hope, believing that Yuan God could not only produce food, but could also fill in the oceans. Chen Yuan needed to recruit more believers. He longed to become a savior in the truest sense. During the days of being hung upside down, he has already gone mad, towards some kind of extreme. Chen Yuan is becoming more and more like a paranoid god, yet his words and actions feign mercy. He is already stained with blood. Where he resides is called the birthplace of God, Tai Chu. He finished the purge. Those who knew his past, only Sister Xiao Xiao remains. In the temple of God Yuan, Chen Yuan dismissed everyone, and pulled Sister Xiao into his arms, but couldn't help but frown. Talk to me, will you? Lord God Yuan, your servant dares not. God my ass. When you hung me up and beat me, why didn't you call me God? He seemed to be enraged, gripping Sister Xiao Xiao's collar tightly. My lord, I was wrong. I don't want you to say that. I want you to be the Sister Xiao Xiao in my heart. Why? He let go as if losing all strength, holding his head, sinking into pain. My lord, what should I do? Lie to me, beat me, torture me, alright? This servant dares not. This answer was the finishing blow. Chen Yuan fainted from anger. My 4th year in Iju Garden, I thought I had let go of the hatred and returned to peace. But my younger brother, Chen Yuan, after the string called love snapped, only had one goal left: to compete with me. He walked further and further down the path of paranoia. The 5th year of the catastrophe, he finally began to act. Under the curtain of rain on the rooftop, he shouted to the crowd of fanatical believers behind him. God said, "Let there be light." God said he could change everything. Are you ready to sacrifice yourselves to save the world? We are ready. Good. Number 001. Step forward. Your codename is Sky. The first believer walked to the edge of the rooftop. Chen Yuan followed behind him, softly declaring, "God grants you a great power beyond human limits." He gave a gentle push. The man fell. A moment later, a loud explosion, accompanied by steam soaring into the sky. A blood-red giant nearly 2,000 meters tall stood up with a roar. Chen Yuan looked at his creation, but what came out of his mouth was, "An ultra-sized colossus has appeared." Then, through the amplification device, he commanded the behemoth attracted by the lights, "Kneel." The giant knelt with a crash. "He has truly gone mad." Standing on the ventilation platform, Sister Xiao and I witnessed this terrifying scene. The giant's power terrified me. A monster was born just like that. Sister Xiao recovered from her shock. "What on earth does your brother want to do?" "He wants to be the savior." Chen Yuan's manic laughter echoed. "I really am the savior of this world. I am the god who changes everything. The god who ends the apocalypse with his own hands. He has completely lost it." Pulled down buildings to make roads. With one command, the giant began to move. High-rise buildings were uprooted one by one, piled up beneath his feet. "What are you waiting for? Come here and receive the blessing," Chen Yuan screamed. The other 11 giants appeared in sequence, and began the violent demolition. Only our building stood firm like a tombstone. The lights on the tombstone formed 2 words. Tai Chu. I am powerless to change all this. Actually, maybe it's for the best. Think about it. If the apocalypse continues for 10 years, human civilization will still face extinction. Taking a gamble might be the only chance. No, if we don't change all this, the future is where humanity wins. I have seen that future. On the day the rain stopped, and the sun appeared. And on the network, silent as an abyss, messages celebrating survival wove together into a picture. I can never forget that scene. Really? Of course. Don't underestimate humans, born to face the sun. Endure this curtain of rain, and we will bloom upon the earth once more. Chen Yuan's madness continues. But how can this isolated island fill the ocean? Those giants who tried to resist were all killed, turning into grim, withered bones on Taichu Island. Yes, that's right, just like that. Chen Yuan had already gone mad. Sister Xiao Xiao, standing behind him, her pupils trembled, seeming to have regained some consciousness. She spoke faintly. "Can doing this really save the world?" Chen Yuan immediately turned and approached her. "Are you questioning me? Questioning your god?" Sister Xiao Xiao, kneel. "I dare not." Instead, Chen Yuan smiled as if liberated. "I am right, because I have seen the future of humanity." He turned his head, murmuring absently. "On the day the clouds parted to reveal the sun, the internet was deathly silent. My brother went mad. He couldn't accept that reality. He went mad, even developed dementia. If we tried to change it, perhaps everyone could have survived. We wouldn't have had to endure such long loneliness. 2 men, the only survivors. Is there a future for humanity? I loathed his selfishness, and hated his isolation and lockdowns even more. No matter how terrible human hearts are, we should still try to change. He had the great power to change everything. Yet he did nothing. So I understood him and jumped as well, returning to the moment I could start over. I chose to amplify it 1,000 times without hesitation. I will become the savior of this world, correcting his mistaken ideas. I am the one who is right. Sister Xiao Xiao, to prove all this, I am willing to give anything. The project continued into the 9th year. Taichu Mountain had already soared into the clouds, becoming the only place in the world free from the rain curtain. The figures of countless giants became insignificant black dots. Humanity's past was buried. The bones of giants turned into soil. Truly madness? But in my heart, there was only sorrow. In this building, only the 4 of us remained. Creation. I think I saw that unacceptable answer. Sister Xiao Xiao is about to take the final step. Chen Yuan's voice was hoarse, emaciated. Only his gaze remained stubborn. Is it my turn? Sister Xiao Xiao stepped forward, as if she had long known her fate. I am about to overcome this apocalypse, but there isn't enough time. The 10-year deadline is almost here. I cannot lose, nor do I want to lose. Sister Xiao silently walked up the wall, opening her arms. You will be different from the others. I have modified countless giants. You will be the most special one. I stayed in Eden, only feeling the earth shaking. He lost. He cannot win. I saw through his obsession long ago. Everything he did was meaningless. Brother, I know you are in this room. Chen Yuan's shout woke me up. My giant servants have trodden across the whole world. There is no such place as in the photo. So you lied. The sunlight is fake. The only place in this world that receives sunlight is only here. Only this Taishu monument. I want to change that hopeless future. After I leave, continue staying in your little world, together with that sister. She is your boss, right? I've seen her photo, in your wallet, tucked in the middle layer. You love her, so why have you remained indifferent? Little brother, At least I am braver than you, daring to pursue, daring to express my feelings, daring to take action. You are the real coward. It doesn't matter anymore. I didn't come here to mock you today, after I leave. Don't be in a hurry to leave. The Taichu Monument, having lost my restraint. The giants will not dare to approach this place. This is the safest place. When the time is right, leave with that sister. Descend the mountain and carry on humanity's future. The 10-year deadline has arrived. Chen Yuan looked at me, not surprised. Brother, I will have my revenge on you. Dreaming in broad daylight, I leaped up. Say goodnight to this world. Little brother, a deliberate crushing punch. Waking up again. I am still at the primordial monument of Eden. You're awake. The 1-year term has ended. According to the agreement between you and your brother, it's time for us to go down the mountain. Where are the giants? You hear the roars of the flying people in the distance. The giants, following the female giant in front, headed toward the land of return. They will end there, those piled bones becoming nutrients for the earth, spreading outward, while life descends from the primordial. It has arrived. I walked up to the empty rooftop. What are you still waiting for? Ms. Xiao, with her slightly bulging belly, took my arm. I think I was wrong. You weren't wrong. I remained silent for a moment, looking into the distance. Tell me, this earth, which has grown so much larger, our children, how long will it take for them to see its full picture? I never thought about it. From the birth of life to the time we built satellites to overlook this planet, it took 3.8 billion years. We continued the memories of humanity, the new people who inherited the civilization of the old era. How much longer will it take to escape the narrowness of the old world? I don't know. One day, will our descendants also deny the civilization that once was? Because they can no longer find traces of the past. Is it being forgotten, or that it never existed? Those ancient myths, were they also beneath the catastrophe? The desperate resistance of a group of people and gods? Those gray hymns in the memories are not praising the gods, but praising us, the humans, the past, the present, and also the future. I don't know. Knowing that the real Sister Hua died long ago. There was no food in that building at all. I liked her appearance, but I didn't like what was inside. Thank you for letting me fall in love with one side of her. I am also satisfied, because I loved a true God. I counted on my fingers. 6 years, 10 months, 20 days. I'm content. You lied to me. Yes. In the end, this game of the gods was won by the two of us brothers. It took me over 6 years to make you fall in love with me, to make you willing to carry the seed of humanity on this new land. Our civilization was overturned, but it will continue in another way.